fast. I can't do this anymore. I'm so sick of running and fixing everyone's problems. Why can't I just have time for myself? I'm just starting to feel really depressed at times. There goes the cops with another problem. I'm done.
Okay, where do we begin? Sonic Adventure was released in 1998 alongside the Dreamcast. You know, one of these things that nobody bought. I bought it. It was finally time for Sonic to evolve into the next generation. Although there was other attempts to do this, Sonic Adventure was the true next step after Sonic and Knuckles. At the time, people seemed to like this game. They thought it was pretty good and, you know, graphically impressive. The graphics were the most important part. It was just, wow, look at the graphic, look at the Eggman, look at this Sonic, he's so fast. The problem was that nobody played this game because nobody had a Dreamcast. I have one. So because of the Dreamcast, a lot of people did not get to experience this game, and Sonic Adventure was kind of lost in time there for a good while because Sega went out of business. Okay, Sega didn't really go out of business per se. They just stopped making their own consoles, instead licensed out their properties to other gaming consoles. At the time, this was mainly the Nintendo GameCube, and this is where Sonic Adventure 2 was released. The Sonic Adventure 2 was also on the Dreamcast, but basically nobody played it there. Everyone started to play it on the GameCube. And 5 years after the original release of Sonic Adventure Deluxe, they should have just called it Deluxe. It's Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. That's the full name. It's a horrible name. I don't know why they called it that.
Mom, can we buy Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut?
What the fitch are you even saying? Is that some kind of code? I don't think it did as well simply because of the name. It's an old game called Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. I'm sure everyone was just confused when they saw that on the shelves. I know I certainly was. When I saw that, I thought it was like an expansion of something that I didn't already have. And it's already an old game, and I just think lots of people didn't experience it. Nobody ever talks about this game. They do at times, but almost never. Usually it's Sonic Adventure 2 that gets brought up in conversation, because everybody grew up with that, including me. That was the first Sonic game I played. But Sonic Adventure, I feel like, was just kind of forgotten. So I played Sonic Adventure for the first time a couple years back. Not on the Dreamcast. I actually don't even own the game on the Dreamcast. It costs a lot that I am not willing to spend. I actually played it first on Xbox with the Xbox Live service. The game was like $5, and I was like, oh, well, easy, I'll play it that way. I wanted to play it again before I replayed Sonic Adventure 2. And boy, what a game! I love Sonic Adventure. I went in with low expectations because I had not heard much great things about the game. People always talk about the second one. And that was the one I was really looking forward to. But when I picked this up, I was blown away. I thought it was incredible. It really translated Sonic over very well from Sonic and Knuckles in Sonic 3 and Sonic 2 and Sonic 1. It just felt like the next natural evolution. I feel like they did really well. There's a lot of aspects to this game that just make it feel like Sonic. They use so many new ideas. Kind of like the classic originals where every level would have a kind of gimmick, so does this. They always add in new fun ideas and new adventures. Like gameplay footage that's on the screen right now, Sonic is inside a tornado right now. They just go balls to the walls nuts with all of this crazy ideas of putting Sonic in a situation and how he'd get out of it. And he's just so chill about it all the time, just saying like, oh, this is a normal day for me. I think it's amazing. I love this game. Although I love this game, it is not perfect. Controlling Sonic can be kind of sluggish at times, but it feels good enough where I enjoy playing as him and you do feel like you're going fast. So that's good. That's the most important thing. Sometimes he does clip through walls, which is kind of embarrassing at times, you know, because these are professional game developers that are making this, but it's very difficult to design around such a fast character going through these 3D spaces. It's bound to happen. And for what it is, I think they did a very good job at that. Another cool thing about this game is that you don't just play as Sonic. Kind of like the originals, you can play as Tails and Knuckles, but this game adds some more characters, such as Amy and that. And it also introduced everybody's favorite, Big the Cat. Everybody hates Big the Cat, and people are probably going to hate me for this, but I actually kind of like him. I think he's funny, and I actually like his gameplay style too, which we're going to get to in a second. I'm sorry. So with so many playable characters, there's a lot to unpack here. So I'm just going to go Sonic Speed and talk about everybody really, really, really fast. Sonic goes really fast through his levels that have a maze-like structure. They go all over the place where you can take different paths around and go super fast as you can through the levels. So going supersonic speed. This is split up by different segments where you go into a world and you explore to find the next levels. Once you go through the levels, you can go through and keep playing through the game and seeing the story. It is super fun, and it has an adventure, as the game states. It's Sonic Adventure. It's a full adventure where you're going all over the place as fast as you possibly can as Sonic. These stages are super fun. Is definitely the highlight of the game and the longest part of the game, as it well is deserved. Next up is Tails. He goes on an adventure very similar to Sonic, although he has the ability to fly, so he can go through the same levels fast. You're trying to race against Sonic. I think this is a smart idea on how to reuse levels without them feeling the same. And you play as Tails, and it's so fast and fun. Knuckles is treasure hunting. You gotta find the gems, go around the small areas and find all the gems. Then you play as Knuckles and you can glide. And Knuckles. Amy runs away from a robot with a bird. I actually don't really like this part of the game that much. I think it's slow and boring, and yeah, I don't really got much to say. This part's kind of boring. Okay, so Gamma or E102 is actually super cool. I really like these levels. You gotta shoot a bunch of stuff, and as you shoot stuff, you get more time because the time's running out, and you gotta go fast, and they still feel fast-paced, even though it's guns and it's not moving as fast. It still feels fast, and Gamma's so cool, and he shoots, and he's got a gun!
Froggy.
Okay, so Big the Cat is probably one of the most controversial parts about this game. This is what people don't really like that much, and it hasn't really seen the same return since this. I can see why, but I still really like this part of the game. In Big the Cat levels, you run around these big sandbox levels, and you still kind of move around and stuff, but the main focus is fishing. You're trying to find Froggy, and once you find Froggy, you fish him, and that's about it. If you want to get a higher rank and score and stuff, you got to catch other fish. What I like about this is that it goes through the story really, really fast, and it still makes me feel fast, and that's why I still like this. And I know that's not good enough reason to like it, but I really do. I do like this part of the game. It's not my favorite part, and it's not the highlight, but I like it. So Sonic Adventure has a lot of ideas going for it, and I think it's a really fun game to go through and do all of these things. The ideas are just so creative, and it all just comes together to build this world. Now, the world itself that you explore isn't the most grand. It's more just taking an object to a place and then you start the next level. Okay, I just gotta take this and put in the thing, and now I can play the next level. Regardless, I still think it's fun to explore in the hub world and find stuff. And we're starting to see that again in new Sonic games, so I'm excited to have a hub world. Because the next game, Sonic Adventure 2, does do away with that. But I do like it, and it is fun to explore. The world building is amazing. Take the music, for example. The music in this game is incredible, and it can help build a world. The best example is the Ice Cap Zone. You start out in a snowy world, exploring a snowy wasteland as the guitars kick in. It feels good. You're exploring, it seems something new, and you don't know what's going to happen, but you're excited to see what it is when you come across a cave. So then you pull up inside the cave, and you're like, okay, what is this? Why is the music all creepy now? This doesn't sound anything like Sonic at all. Well, it's because you got to think a bit more. You got to be a bit more methodic with all of your actions. One little mess up and you're dead. There's everything here that's just trying to kill you. The music perfectly replicates that. And it's all just waiting, building up to that big moment. Drums, guitar, everything you wait for. What the bitch? This is so good! Where did this come from? You're gonna die! There's an avalanche coming! What? But then it evolves and the saxophone comes in. Oh! I cannot express enough how incredibly underrated this soundtrack is. Every single song is almost a banger. It's incredible. Play it for the music alone. It is so good. The controls are good. The graphics are good. The voice acting.
Oh, man. What happened to that emerald we just had? That's not good. Come on, Sonic. We need to get busy.
Is really, really bad. It might not be great, but I still love it. I think it's really, really, really funny. I love watching them for that alone. Their voices don't match up with anything. They have very slow reaction times. Apparently, when they were doing their lines, they weren't given anything about what their lines were about or what concept they were in. What was the context of their lines? They had no idea. And it really makes for a really funny experience. I think it's hilarious. I don't even think it's bad. It's probably my favorite part, is the cutscenes. I also genuinely like the casting they have for the characters. I think their voices match the characters very well. Even though their delivery of the line isn't great, I do like the voices. However, because of the voices, the story kind of falls flat. It doesn't work great. How it's split up is you got all of your characters. The story is split up into 6 different parts. So you're watching it one part at a time. It doesn't really make sense when you start, but at the end it makes a lot of sense, and you kind of have to see the same stuff over and over again until it's finally solidified what the story is. Basically, long story short, there's an echidna. She's a girl. They had a tribe on Angel Island. Knuckles remembers it. Everyone remembers it for some reason. They had this thing called Chaos. The girl tried to protect Chaos. Chaos is an alien, by the way, and it's goop. But if you give it Chaos Emeralds, then it grows and becomes more powerful. But they had to protect the Chaos Emeralds, because if they didn't protect it, then the whole island was going to go down and crash. So luckily, Dr. Eggman found Chaos, actually, and he actually was giving him Chaos Emeralds. But that's actually a bad thing, because Chaos is actually a bad guy. But only because he didn't know what he was doing, and he didn't have his friend there to protect him. And actually, so Big the cat had a frog, and the frog actually ate one of the Chaos Emeralds. But actually, the frog was important to the story, and that's why Big the cat actually has his own part of the game, just so we could talk about the frog. And then Chaos becomes good, and there's a part where Tails disarms a missile and saves the whole city. That's pretty cool, actually. And then the whole city gets blown up by Chaos, and there's water everywhere, and I think it kills everybody, or they evacuated everyone. It doesn't really specify. I like to assume that everyone's dead, but we're not really sure. And then he turns into Super Sonic, and he kills Chaos. This story is chaotic. It's all over the place. It's not the greatest, but I still like it. They really did better on the stories in the future. This game is kind of... You don't really watch it for the story. The cutscenes are funny, but the story is kind of... It kind of relates back to the original Sonic games where, you know, it's just a quest. You're trying to get the Chaos Emeralds, and that's what they're doing here. They try to get the Chaos Emeralds before Dr. Eggman can. It's kind of like a little race. If they had more time, I'm sure it could be good. But for what it is interesting. It's a more captivating story than, I don't know, Mario 64, Princess Peach is captured, you know. Because Sonic has always tried to be a little bit different. And it's fun to see how it relates to the first 3 games. And then, boom, this is just the next evolution. And from here, it just bounces off so much more. So in closing, I do think Sonic Adventure is a good game. If you are a Sonic fan, I think you should play it. I think it's really good. I don't think it really has the credit it deserves. And I feel like a lot of people still haven't played it. So, give it a chance. It's a good one.
Tails, this place really sucks. I really don't want to do this anymore. I'm just kind of sick of this. I mean, why are we even having this? Do we even get paid? Do we even have jobs? Are we even considered legal citizens? Am I a furry? What am I? What are you? Who are we? What is you? How is me?